If you're ready, then I will begin. It's a great day at Heritage Elementary School in 2016. The hallways are filled with kids yelling, "Andy's coming," while spinning their multicolored fidget spinners. A young girl walks through the halls alone with a skip in her step and a smile on her face. Headed to Miss Anderson's 6th grade class, she thrives in her make-believe world. Others around her tend to stray away from her due to her chaotic energy, but this has no effect on the girl. She grasps her toy dog as tight as she can and walks through the door. The others in the classroom are making conversation about the latest episodes of Wizards of Waverly Place or how they had the best mac and cheese of their lives for dinner last night. This girl sits near the back. The two girls in front of her are making conversation about how mature they are now that they're in 6th grade. One of them goes, "Do you remember how last year we were obsessed with Barbies? Ew, right?" The other responds, "Yeah, we're much more mature than that." The girl suddenly looks down at the toy in her lap. Red oozes into her cheeks. She heard their conversation and now seems ashamed. She turns somber and hurriedly shoves the toy to the bottom of her bag. Throughout the year, we watch her once colorful skirts and sweaters transform into clothes designed for invisibility. Her constant smile morphs into a constant look of worry. She starts doing everything solely with the intent of fitting in. She fades into the background, attempting to become one like the others. Once she starts worrying about what people think, she never stops. Today we will transition from this 6th grade class into high school. We will go to our first hour and learn about the expectations of society and the issues that those expectations can cause. We will go to lunch and get a big fat dish of how ignored child abuse is. We will go to our 5th hour and write an essay on the influence technology has in our lives. Finally, we will have a deep conversation on the bus about possible solutions to growing up too fast. High school, the place most frequently described as living torture. A place filled with so much judgment and pain that, according to PBS, there were 11.8 deaths per 100,000 adolescents aged 15 to 19 years in 2017. The expectations of society can be a major influence on who we are as an individual. Irina Sterlich conducted an experiment where she studied the brains of 20 people, 10 of whom were diagnosed with clinical depression. She quickly found that the 10 with the more severe symptoms had more mature aspects of their brains, proving that mental illness can be a big factor in growing up too fast. Unfortunately, childhood is changing from what it was today. At younger and younger ages, girls are pressured to worry about what they wear and how they look wearing it. Boys are pressured to act the most masculine, to act like real men. They are determined to fit into the stereotypes. They are scared to express themselves the way they internally want to, and scared to stand up for what they believe in because it can be socially unacceptable. This can be extremely detrimental to everybody involved. One of the biggest factors of anxiety and depression is exclusion. We all know the alphabet, right? A, B, C, D, you get the picture. Let's break it down a little. You have your vowels, A, E, I, O, U. Then you have your more commonly used consonants, R, S, and T. But then you have your less commonly used consonants like X, Z, Q, and J. Now, compare this to our society. You have your cheerleaders and jocks who are well-known and attractive, for the most part. They are praised for being extroverted and good within groups of people. You have your average person, not super well-known, but not ignored. Then you have the brains, the people who are smart, who excel in school. The people who are judged for being quiet and awkward. The people who don't talk in group settings and thoroughly enjoy spending time with themselves. Some of the people who had life-changing ideas, they were introverts. Albert Einstein, Bill Gates, Emily Dickinson, some of the most widely known people, yet at the same time the most reclusive people. Their ideas to help change the world came from spending time with themselves. If not for them and others like them, we would not be the world we are today. I would like to share a story with you. This story does include some descriptions about child abuse, mental health issues, and suicide, so if that bothers you, then I encourage you to mute me. My mother, Alice Thurber, has some personal experience with child abuse. I consider her as having little to no childhood at all. When Alice was 5, her mom was diagnosed with a personality disorder and was institutionalized. Her dad worked full-time as a police officer, leaving my mom and her twin to take care of the siblings. They became the parental figures of the house. They cooked for everyone, they bathed everyone, and they got everyone ready for bed and off to school in the mornings. Alice's dad would have to come in the middle of the night to set the alarm clock because Alice was so young when this started, she didn't even know numbers. Shortly after Alice's mom was healthy enough to come home, my grandma attempted suicide for the first time. Then she got institutionalized and the cycle would start all over again. My mom has some fuzzy memories about some abusive things that happened. She remembers being given a drink by her mom, her siblings being given the same drink, and then her mom would start singing something, and Alice doesn't remember what happened or how much time had passed. This happened multiple times. One time, Alice remembers being in the car with her mom. She was deathly afraid of driving off the edge of a cliff because that's where her mom told her they were going. Obviously she didn't, but this feeling can be traumatizing for a child. My mom often felt like she was worth nothing. Strangers would come and go throughout this time frame. Most of the men were sexually and physically abusive. When Alice was 14 or 15, she was enjoying a nice Christmas season when something altered the course of her life. Christmas Eve, siblings all snuggled up, enjoying some nice hot chocolate. Her dad comes in with big news. He proceeded to tell the kids that he was leaving them for another woman. Shortly after that, my mom's mom attempted suicide again, failed, and got institutionalized. So with both parents out of the house, my mom and her twin moved in permanently with their grandparents. My mom's younger brothers and sister were placed into foster care. My mom developed an eating disorder at a very young age to try to have some aspect of control in an uncontrollable environment. She often says that if someone had reached out to her, whether it be a teacher, church leader, or friend, then the direction of her life would have been way different. Notice the red flags because you can drastically change someone's life. If you notice something off, then don't be afraid to ask. My mom is traumatized and has been her whole life. She is now recently starting to recover. My uncle ended up committing suicide last year because he never really recovered. Parents are a huge influence on their kids' lifestyle, and you need to be aware and sensitive towards others. The experiences shaped by the influences of technology are an enormous part of who we are. An example of this being a study conducted by Deborah Linebarger. In the study, showed that kids who watched Dora the Explorer started talking more frequently and more efficiently. A 15-month-old boy loved to interact with Dora, Boots, and Swiper. Evidently, his first word is backpack. The same study reported that the kids who watched Teletubbies were not able to learn new words as quickly, proving that the content of TV shows can alter the path of maturity. We all remember our days as kids, right? Or as I like to call them, the good days. Getting all dressed up in our silly bands and light-up sneakers, we sat down on the couch to watch The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody or Little Einsteins. Unfortunately, things are different in the present day. Children are getting access to cell phones at younger and younger ages, giving them access to social media and the taxing issues that come along with it. They get all dressed up in their crop tops and ripped jeans and sit down to watch Riverdale. This is the effect of children following their favorite social media influencers, older siblings, and not allowing their parents to have much control, which can cause extreme mental damage at unacceptably young ages. Oh, there's the bell. Time to head out to the bus. Hey, bus driver, how's your day? Not good? Oh, well, let me show you how to change that. Now you may be thinking, what could possibly be a solution to growing up too fast? There isn't really a specific answer. Focus on the important parts of your existence, the happy ones. Don't ignore the negative issues, just don't dwell on them. Feel your feelings and move on, as my mom always says. Put away the devices and spend some time with what you love, whether that's snuggling up with your dog, reading a book, or painting a picture. Now, I'm not saying you have to pull out the Barbies, but it's okay to be yourself. Distracting yourself with things other than electronics and social media can be extremely beneficial to your mental and physical health. Thank you for spending this day with me. I hope you will learn to become aware of your surroundings, take a break from social media and the opinions of others, and focus on the positive because it can save your life and maybe even others. Thank you.